Now, as bizarre and wild of an ending that was, there is a more sinister and darker meaning behind Jimmy and his cult. Now, after doing some research, it appears that Jack O'Connell's Jimmy Crystal and his crew and their outfits consisting of vibrant purple tracksuits, heavy gold jewelry, and Jimmy's long blonde hair were all inspired by Jimmy Savile, the once adored British television presenter who after death was accused of committing hundreds of instances of sexual abuse, many involving children. It's been documented that Jimmy took advantage of the access that he had to medical facilities because of his charitable work to prey on the patients. It's also been said by an undisclosed doctor that Jimmy had an interest in the dead. Honestly, this being my first time hearing of him, so I had no full understanding of the hold he had on the British culture prior to his death. In the 1960s, Jimmy was best known for hosting the music show Top of the Pops. That was followed by the BBC program Jim Will Fix It, in which he would grant children's wishes, and that show ran from the 1970s into the 1990s. Now, taking all that information and applying it to this film, making the connection considering what this means to the world of 28 years later. If the rage virus broke out in 2002 when 28 Days Later was released, then the events of the infected happened almost 10 years before the once British star would have had widespread knowledge of Jimmy's crimes. Now, going back to this film, the young Jimmy Crystal that we meet at the beginning of this film, being that it takes place in 2002, Jimmy would have known of Savile as a strange but treasured and beloved entertainer. Now, going back to the real world, even when Savile died at the age of 84 in 2011, his reputation was in such good standing that people from all over the country traveled to attend his funeral. Now, after doing this research, and trust me, there's still so much to explore with Jimmy Savile and also the connections to this film, I couldn't help but to have this somewhat bad taste in my mouth. But then I found this interview that provided some more insight from the creators Danny Boyle and Alex Garland themselves.